Hello guys, welcome back. Today's video is a masdevallia care tutorial that I hope will help you grow successfully these orchids, as I know for some of you this proved to be a bit tricky. Masdevallia orchids are commonly referred to as kite orchids because of their blooms that are almost triangular shaped and have what looks like kite tails coming off of each sepal. If you are short on space to grow orchids, masdevallias might be a great choice for you because they are compact growers in comparison to many other orchids, and many don't grow more than 12 inches in height. Masdevallia orchid blooms come in many different colors, ranging from pale to almost neon, as well as many different patterns such as spotted or striped. Right now I have on my wish list two beautiful masdevallia orchids. I want to find a masdevallia sunset jaguar at a reasonable price because sometimes they are overly priced because of their very unique color and pattern, and masdevallia ignea, which is a beautiful fiery red orchid species, and I hope I will get my hands on these ones this year. This genus includes at least 350 recognized species and several hundred recognized hybrids. If you do decide to try to grow masdevallia orchids, you might want to try starting with hybrids because they are more adaptable to a range of conditions, and masdevallia care of hybrids tend to be much easier. The only masdevallia that I own at the moment is masdevallia huiana pichu, which is a cross between two species, masdevallia veciana, that is a cold grower, and masdevallia princeps, that is again a cold to cool grower. So my masdevallia hybrid likes pretty cold conditions. Light should be like that given to phalaenopsis, so about 1000 to 1000 foot candles should be enough. Masdevallias can be kept in light intensities up to 2000 foot candles if the growing area can be kept a bit cooler. Plants grow well under standard fluorescent fixtures or can be summered outside in the shade when they can benefit from a lot of air movement, which will keep their leaf cooler. In the home, you can place it in an east or shaded south window or under artificial light. In the summer, I kept mine on the floor tiles in my balcony, which are pretty cold. Temperature requirements for masdevallia orchids are in the cool to intermediate range. The ideal daytime temperature to grow your masdevallia orchid is between 65 to 75 Fahrenheit or 18 to 24 Celsius, and night temperatures between 55 or 60 Fahrenheit or 13 to 16 Celsius. A 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit or 5 to 10 Celsius difference between day and night is ideal, especially during the hot summer months. If your masdevallia orchid becomes too hot, this could slow down its growth and ultimately kill your orchid. To be pretty honest, mine has withstood pretty well my hot summer. It resisted for short periods of time temperatures up to 35 Celsius and nights of about 20 Celsius, so I would say mine is a pretty forgiving hybrid. The reason why this happened, it is because I chose to put mine in full small grade seramis, which kept the roots cooler and also provided perfect hydration for my masdevallia. The need for cool temperatures is the primary reason why masdevallias are sometimes considered to be difficult, but many of the species and the majority of the hybrids respond positively to intermediate conditions. There are three types of masdevallias: the one that are warm growers, intermediate growers, or cool growers. And I will try to give you some temperature guidelines for each of them, and I will specify the winter night temperature, which should be the coolest temperature that this orchid will receive, and the temperature that will be the maximum in the summer day, which should be the maximum temperature that this orchid can withstand. So the warm growers should have winter nights of 55 to 65 Fahrenheit or 13 to 19 Celsius and summer days of about 75 to 85 Fahrenheit or 24 to 30 Celsius. The intermediate growers should have winter nights of 51 to 60 Fahrenheit or 11 to 16 Celsius and summer days of 70 to 80 Fahrenheit or 21 to 26 Celsius. The cool growers, which are known to be the most difficult to grow, should receive winter nights of 50 to 55 Fahrenheit or 10 to 13 Celsius and summer days of 65 to 78 Fahrenheit or 13.5 Celsius to 25.5 Celsius. So you should keep this in mind when you are trying to buy a masdevallia. And I think the best advice that I can give to you, it is before you buy an orchid, try to buy an orchid that has an ID, so you can know exactly which are the parents of that orchid, and you can check on orchidspecies.com or just on Google if maybe it's not a cross between two species, and you will slowly start to understand which are the conditions in which that orchid grows in nature, and you will see what temperatures that orchid likes, and you can then try to imitate those conditions for your hybrid. Or if you are growing a species, you will know the exact temperature that that orchid likes. Anyway, mine should be a cool to intermediate grower, and it was pretty forgiving for me. My masdevallia orchid was kept just right next to my Miltoniopsis on the floor tiles in my balcony, so that is the best place where I can keep my masdevallias and my Miltoniopsis. Masdevallias need a minimum of 3 to 5 Celsius degree differential between day and night. This drop at night, it is very important in the summer. Provide a substantially lower night temperature to minimize the heat stress from temperatures in case you have exceed the maximum recommendations. High humidity will also help offset the ill effects of the hot summer days. Relative humidity should rise with the temperature because masdevallias are growing in the nature in cloud forests. So a relative humidity ranging from a minimum of 50% to nearly 80% is recommended. Air movement, it is important in culture of all the orchids, but because of temperature and humidity requirements of masdevallia culture, air movement, it is particularly vital for these orchids. Adequate air movement reduces leaf temperature, aids in evaporation, thus as increasing humidity, and helps reduce the probability of getting fungal or bacterial problems. The air movement should be strong enough to provide a fresh atmosphere, allow for drying of potting media and leaves, and help maintain an even temperature. Water is critical for these plants because they have minimal water storage tissue. Roots should be kept always a little bit moist. You should never let a masdevallia dry out completely. A sign that you could overwater these orchids, it is the loss of foliage. Good quality water low in dissolved solid. It is imperative for success. I water mine with pure distilled water, which has a concentration of about 9 ppm. My Huyana Pichu, it is not fussy about humidity. In the summer it grew well next to my Miltoniopsis with a humidity of 30%. Humidity can be increased with the use of an ultrasonic humidifier. Masdevallia orchids aren't heavy feeders and they love pure water, so I only fertilize it once every 2 months with a solution of 150 ppm. I use a fertilizer of 14,7,8 mpk with a concentration of magnesium of 2 with no urea in the nitrogen formula because this is toxic for orchids. Potting it is best in the winter or early spring before the heat of summer arrives or as the new roots are produced. If you grow them in organic medium such as moss, plants must be repotted frequently each year before the potting mix decomposes. I strongly suggest you use seramis for these orchids as masdevallia are terrestrial orchids, meaning they do not breathe through their roots and they need constant moisture. I use small grade seramis for my masdevallia and it loves it. You can check my orchid haul from Look Orchidian up above and you will see how this orchid looked like when I have purchased it 6 months ago. It was summer and hot. I had repotted it right then, and although masdevallias are very known for killing all the roots when you repot them, mine did super okay with that. It loved seramis and it has grown about 14 new leaves from then. It didn't grow smaller leaves, but big and fleshy ones, meaning it is very happy with my care. The only thing that I regret it is that I didn't use a clay pot in place of this plastic one. Because it was my first masdevallia, I felt like I need to see the roots and see how they develop to better understand my orchid. But I am thinking to repot it in a clay pot. Anyway, I don't have much space left for new growth. It is growing so fast for me. Because my masdevallia is a cold to cool grower, I expect it to bloom in winter or spring. As you can see, I already have tiny spikes waiting for the right time to develop. I just can't wait to see this orchid in bloom and show it to you. Alright guys, I hope this care tutorial will help you take better care of your masdevallia orchid. Will encourage the ones that were afraid to try to grow this genus to give masdevallias a go. They can be very rewarding if you treat them right. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time.